Hare Krishna Prabhu. Pranam. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Hare Krishna Panduranga Priya Prabhu. Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you. And Padma Malini Mati. Dhanavad Pranam.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी धन्यवाद
Yeah.
माता
हरे
जी।
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. There was some noise. Hare Krishna Maitri Mataji. Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you for joining. Pranam. Thank you so much. Hare Mataji and Advaita Prana Prabhu. Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so much for joining. Let us begin our session. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषः शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः। पाञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. So we are going to read Rudra Gita today, number 33 onwards. So what is there in the Rudra Gita? Just a brief description. So first of all, he pays Lord Shiva pays obeisances to the Lord in the form of Chaturviha. What are the Chaturviha? Vasudeva, who is the deity of consciousness; Sankarshana, who is the deity of false ego; Pradyumna, who is the deity of intelligence; Aniruddha, who is the deity of mind; and Surya, who is the deity of eye; Agni, who is the deity of speech; Soma, who is the deity of mind; Hiranyagarbha and Virat Rupa, who is the deity of earth; Vayu, the deity of air; Nava is the deity of the sound. Ultimately, he prays to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and he prays to Lord Shiva himself as the controller of all ego. So, we are going to read these slokas. I hope you can see the screen.
यस प्रभु जी।
Yes. Hare Krishna Padmamali Madhya, text number 33.
Hare Krishna
First.
Prabhuji. Translation. Lord Shiva addressed the Supreme Personality of Godhead with the following prayer: O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all glories unto you. You are the most exalted of all self-realized souls, since you are always auspicious for the self-realized. I wish that you be auspicious for me. You are worshipable by virtue of the all perfect instructions you give. You are the super soul. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you as the supreme living being. Purport. As soon as a devotee is inspired by the Lord to offer the Lord a prayer, the devotee immediately glorifies the Lord in the beginning by saying, all glories unto you, my Lord. The Lord is glorified because he is considered to be the chief of all self-realized souls. As said in the Vedas, Katha Upanishad 2.2.13, Nitya Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The Supreme Being, the Personality of Godhead, is the chief living being amongst all living beings. There are different kinds of individual living beings. Some of them are in this material world and some are in the spiritual world. Those who are in the spiritual world are known to be completely self-realized because on the spiritual platform, the living entity is not forgetful of his service to the Lord. Therefore, in the spiritual world, all those who are in the devotional service of the Lord are eternally fixed, for they understand the position of the Supreme Being as well as their individual constitution. Thus, amongst self-realized souls, the Lord is known as the perfectly self-realized soul, Nitya Nityanam Chetanam. When the individual soul is fixed in his knowledge of the Lord as the Supreme Being, he actually becomes established in all in an all auspicious position. Lord Shiva prays herein that his auspicious position continue eternally by virtue of the Lord mercy upon him. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Pandana Priya Guru. Thanks.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Supreme Lord is all perfect, and the Lord instructs that one who worships him also become perfect, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. The Lord is situated as the super soul in everyone's heart, but he is so kind to his devotees that he gives them instructions by which they may continue to progress. When they receive instructions from the all perfect, there is no chance of their being misled. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. The Lord is always ready to give instructions to the pure devotee so that the devotee can advance further and further in devotional service. Since the Lord gives instruction as Sarvatma, the super soul, Lord Shiva offers him respect with the words Sarvasam Atmane Manaha Namaha. The individual soul is called Atma, and the Lord is also called Atma as well as Paramatma, being situated in everyone's heart. The Lord is known as the Supreme Atma. Therefore, all obeisances are offered unto him in this regard. One may refer to the prayers of Kunti's the first canto Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.22. तथा तथा परमा तथा परमहंसम मुनि नाम अमलात्मानां माम भक्ति योगा विदहारत्मम कथाम पाश्येमा ही स्त्रियः. The Lord is always ready to give instruction to the Paramahansas or the topmost devotees of the Lord who are completely liberated from all contaminations of the material world. The Lord always gives instruction to such exalted devotees to inform them how they can remain fixed in devotional service. Similarly, it is stated in the Atmarama verses. Bhagavatam 1.7.10. Atma Ramascha Munyo Nirgantah api Uru karme Kurvante ahe tukim bhaktim ittam bhuta guno harihi. The word Atma Rama refers to those who are not interested in the material world but are simply engaged in spiritual realization. Such self-realized persons are generally considered in two categories, impersonal or personal. However, impersonalists also becomes devotee when they are attracted by the personal transcendental qualities of the Lord. The conclusion is that Lord Shiva wanted to remain a fixed devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. As explained in the following verses, Lord Shiva never desired to merge into the existence of the Supreme Lord like the impersonalist. Rather, he thinks that it would be good fortune for him to continue to be fixed in the understanding of the Lord as the Supreme Being. By this understanding, one realizes that all living entities, including Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and other demigods, are servants of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Maithili Madhya, text number 34, first one.
Hare Krishna. My Lord, you are the origin of the creation by various of the lotus flower which spurts from your novel. You are the supreme controller of the sense and the sense objects, and you are also all prevailing Vasudevan. You are the most peaceful, and because of your self-illumination existence, you are not disturbed by the six kind of transformations. But the Lord of Garbhodorasya Vishnu lies in the ocean of Garbha within his universe, and from his novel the lotus flower spots. Lord Brahma is generated from the lotus flower, and from Lord Brahma the creation of this material world begins. As such, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Garbhodorasya Vishnu, is the origin of the material sense and sense objects. Since Lord Shiva considers himself to be one of the products of the material world, his senses are under the control of the Supreme Creator. The Supreme Lord is also known as the High Master of the sense, which indicates that our sense and sense objects are formed by the Supreme Lord. As such, he can control our sense and out of his mercy engaged them in the service of the masters of the senses. In the conditional state, the living entity struggles in the material world and engaged his sense for the material satisfaction. However, if the living entity is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can engage them these very senses in the servicing of the Lord. Lord Shiva desire not to be misled by the material sense, but to engage always in the servicing of the Lord without being subjected to contamination by materialistic influences. By the grace and help of Lord Vasudeva, who is all-pervading, one can engage his sense in the devotional service without deviations, just as the Lord acts without deviations. The word
Hare Krishna.
Anant
Thank you,
Hare
madam.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sagar Prabhu. Next paragraph. Hare Krishna, Sagar Prabhu. Please.
Hare Krishna, the words Santaya, Kutasthaya, Swa, Rajise are very significant. Although
Hare Krishna.
1 minute. I will read the next paragraph.
Hare Krishna, Pushkala, you can read the next.
Hare Krishna. The words Santaya Kutastaya Swarochise are very significant. Although the Lord is within his material world, he is not disturbed by the waves of material existence. However, conditioned souls are agitated by 6 kinds of transformations. Namely, they become agitated when they are hungry, when they are thirsty, when they are aggrieved, when they are illusioned, when they grow old, and when they are on the deathbed. Although conditioned souls become very easily illusioned by these conditions in the material world, the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Super Soul Vasudeva is never agitated by these transformations. Therefore, it is said here, Kutastaya, that he is always peaceful and devoid of agitation because of his prose, which is described herein as Swarochise, indicating that he is illuminated by his own transcendental position. In other words, the individual soul, although within the illumination of the Supreme, sometimes falls down from that illumination because of his tiny position, and when he falls down, he enters into material conditional life. The Lord, however, is not subject to such conditioning, therefore, he is described as self illuminated. Consequently, any conditioned soul within this material universe can remain completely perfect when he is under the protection of Vasudeva or when he is engaged in devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sagar Prabhu, can you read?
Hare Krishna. Translation. My dear Lord, you are the origin of the subtle material ingredients, the master of all integration, as well as the master of all disintegration. The predominating deity named Sankarsana and the master of all intelligence known as the predominating deity Pradyumna. Therefore, I offer my respectable obeisance on you. The whole universe is maintained by the integrating power of the Supreme Lord, who is known in that capacity by the name Sankarsana. The material scientists may have discovered the law of gravity, which maintains the integration of the objects within the material energy. If the master of all integration can create devastation by the disintegration blazing fire emanating from his mouth. A description of this can be found in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, wherein the initial form of the Lord is described. The master of integration is also the destroyer of the world by virtue of his disintegrative energy. Sankarsana is the master of integration and disintegration. Whereas Pradyumna, another feature of Lord Vasudeva, is responsible for emotional growth and maintenance. The word Sukmaya is significant because within this gross material body there are subtle material bodies, namely mind, intelligence, and ego. The Lord in his different forms, Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Sankarsana, maintain both the gross and subtle material elements of this world. As mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, the gross material elements are earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And the subtle material elements are mind, intelligence, and ego. And all of them are controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And this will be further explained in the following verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jagannath, 36 first paragraph.
Krishna, translation. My Lord, as the Supreme Directing Deity known as Aniruddha, you are the master of the senses and the mind. I therefore offer my obeisances unto you and again. You are known as Ananta as well as Sankarshana because of your ability to destroy the whole creation by the blazing fire from your mouth. Purport.
Indriyatmani. Tikendriyatmani.
Indriyatmani. Rishikesh Indriyatmani. The mind is the director of the senses, and Lord Aniruddha is the director of the mind. In order to execute devotional services, one has to fix his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, Lord Shiva prays to the controller of the mind, Lord Aniruddha, to be pleased to help him engage his mind on the lotus feet of Lord. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.34. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyachi mam namaskuru. The mind has to be engaged in the meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord in order to execute devotional service. It is also stated in Bhagavad Gita 15.5. From the Lord come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Thus, if Lord Aniruddha is pleased, he can help the mind engage in the service of the Lord. It is also indicated on the verse that Lord Aniruddha is the sun god by the virtue of his expansion. Since the predominating deity of the sun is an expansion of Lord Aniruddha, Lord Shiva also prays to the sun god in this service. In this verse.
Hare Krishna, Bhakti Mata, next paragraph.
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna, by his quadruple expansion, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, is the Lord of psychic action, namely thinking, feeling, willing, and acting. Lord Shiva prays to Lord Aniruddha as the sun god who is controlling deity of the external material elements which constitute the construction of material body. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, the word Paramahamsa is also another name for the sun god. The sun god is addressed herein as Nibrithatmane, which indicates that he always maintains the various planets by manipulating the rainfall. The sun god evaporates water from the seas and oceans and then forms water into clouds and distributes it over the land. When there is sufficient rainfall, grains are produced and these grains maintain living entities in each and every planet. The sun god is also addressed herein as Purna or complete because The rays emanating from the sun have no end. For millions and millions of years since the creation of this universe, the sun god has been supplying heat and light without diminution. The word Paramahamsa is applied to persons who are completely cleansed. When there is sufficient sunshine, mind remains clear and transparent. In other words, the sun god helps the mind of living entity to become situated on the platform of Paramahamsa. Thus, Lord Shiva prays to Aniruddha to be kind upon him so that his mind will also always be in perfect state of cleanliness and will be engaged in devotional service of Lord. Just as fire sterilizes all unclean things, the sun god also keeps everything sterilized, especially dirty things within the mind, thus enabling one to attain elevation on to the platform of spiritual understanding.
Hare Krishna Advaita Pranam.
Just a second. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Advaita Pranam. You there? You are on mute.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Madam, you can continue.
Can
You
I
can
continue?
Yeah.
Text number 37 translation. My lord, O Aniruddha, you. Okay, he has come. Just a second.
My lord, O Aniruddha, you are the authority by which the doors of the higher planetary systems and
Your voice is very low.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, your voice is too low.
low. You are the authority by which the doors of the higher planetary systems and liberation are opened. You are always within the pure heart of the living entity. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you. You are the possessor of semen, which is like gold, and thus in the form of fire, you help the Vedic sacrifices beginning with Chaturhotra. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you. Purport. The word Swarga indicates a position in the higher or heavenly planetary systems, and the word Apavarga means liberation. Those who are attached to the Karma Kandiya activities described in the Vedas are actually entangled in the three modes of material nature. The Bhagavad Gita therefore says that one should be above the dominion of the fruitive activities. There are different kinds of liberation or mukti. The best mukti is engagement in devotional service of Supreme Lord. Not only does Lord Aniruddha help fruitive actors by elevating them to the higher planetary systems, but he also helps the devotee engage in devotional service by dint of his inexhaustible energy. Just as heat is the source of material energy, the inspiration of Lord Aniruddha is the energy by which one can engage in executing devotional service.
Hare Krishna Saraswati Mataji. Next time बताइए. Your voice is low. Yes,
Hare
right.
Krishna. Am I audible now?
Yeah, a bit, but still it's slow.
My lord, you are the provider of the Pitralokas as well as all the demigods. Is it audible now?
Yeah, it's audible.
You are the predominating deity of the moon and the master of all three Vedas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you because you are the original source of satisfaction for all living entities. Purport. When the living entity is born within this material world, especially as a human being, he has several obligations unto the demigods, unto the saintly persons, and unto the living entities in general. As enjoined in the Shastras, Devarshi Bhutapata Nrinam Pitrinam. Thus, one has an obligation to one's forefathers, the previous hierarchy. Lord Shiva prays to Lord Aniruddha to give him strength so he can become free from all the obligation of the pitas, demigods, general living entities, and saintly persons, and completely engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord, as stated. Devarshi Bhutapata Nrinam Pitrinam Nakinkaro Nyayam Runicha Rajan Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihritya Kartam. One becomes free from all the obligations to the demigods, saintly persons, pitas, ancient forefathers, etc. if one is completely engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Lord Shiva therefore prays to Lord Aniruddha to give him strength so that he can be free from such obligations and entirely engage in the Lord's service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Pushkala, you can do the last.
Soma, or the predominating deity of the moon, is responsible for the living entity's ability to release the taste of.
You are not audible. Hare Krishna. Is it
Am I
audible?
audible?
Now you are audible.
Soma, or the predominating deity of the moon, is responsible for the living entity's ability to relish the taste of food through the tongue. Lord Shiva prays to Lord Aniruddha to give him strength so that he will not taste anything but the prasada of the Lord. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakura has sung a verse indicating that the tongue is the most formidable enemy among all the senses. If one can control the tongue, he can easily control the other senses. The tongue can be controlled only by eating prasada offered to the deity. Lord Shiva's prayer to Lord Aniruddha is meant for this purpose. Trupti Dhaya. He prays to Lord Aniruddha to help him be satisfied by eating only prasada offered to the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Padmavali Mataji, text number 39.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My dear Lord, you are the gigantic universal from which contains all the individual bodies of the living entities. You are the maintainer of the three worlds, and as such, you maintain the mind, senses, body, and air of life within them. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. As the individual body of the living entity is composed of millions of cells, germs, and microbes, the universal body of the Supreme Lord similarly contain all the individual bodies of the living entities. Lord Shiva is offering his obeisances to the universal body, which includes all other bodies, so that everyone's body may fully engage in devotional service. Since the individual body is composed of senses, all the senses should be engaged in devotional service. For instance, the smelling instrument, the nose can engage in smelling the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. The hands can engage in cleansing the temple of the Lord, etc. Indeed, being the life air of every living entity, the Lord is the maintainer of the three worlds. Consequently, he can induce every living entity to engage in his real life's duty with full body and mental strength. Thus, every living entity should serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his prana life, artha, wealth, intelligence, and words, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam 10.22.35. एत्वाज जन्मा सफल्यम देहिनाम इथा देहिषु पर्णेर अर्थेर देहिया वचा श्रेया आचरणम सदा. Even though one may desire to engage in the service of the Lord without sanction, one cannot do so. So Lord Shiva is offering his prayers is so many different ways in order to show living entities how to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Pandal Priya Bro, text number 40.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My Lord, my dear Lord, by expanding your transcendental vibrations, you reveal the actual meaning of everything. You are the all-pervading sky within and without, and you are the ultimate goal of pious activities executed both within this material world and beyond it. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto you. Purport. Vedic evidence is called Sabda Brahma. There are many things which are beyond the perception of our imperfect senses, yet the authoritative evidence of sound vibration is perfect. The Vedas are known as Sabda Brahma because evidence taken from the Vedas constitute the ultimate understanding. This is because Sabda Brahma or the Vedas represent the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, the real essence of Sabda Brahma is the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. By vibrating this transcendental sound, the meaning of everything, both material and spiritual, is revealed. This Hare Krishna is not different from the personality of Godhead. The meaning of everything is received through the air through sound vibration. The vibration may be material or spiritual, but without sound vibration, no one can understand the meaning of anything. In the Vedas, it is said, Antarvasi cha tat sarvam vapya narayanaha stitihi. Narayana is all pervading and he exists both within and without. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 13.34.
Yata
Yatha,
Prakash. I think yes, go ahead.
go ahead, Prabhuji.
Yata Prakashayati Eka Krishnam Lokam Imam Ravi Kshetram Kshetre Tata Krishnam Prakashayati Bharata. Correct.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Maitri Mataji, you can read the next from O Son of Bharata.
Hare Krishna. O son of Bharata as the sun alone illuminating all the universe, so do the living entity and the super soul illuminating the entire body of the consciousness. In other words, the consciousness of both the soul and the super soul is all privileged. The limited consciousness of the living entity is pervading the entire material body, and the supreme consciousness of the Lord is prevailing the entire universe. Because the soul is present within the body, consciousness pervades the entire body. Similarly, because the supreme soul of Krishna is preventing within the universe, everything is working in order. Maya Dya Senya Parvati Surya Sa Karme Karmatma. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, sir.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jagannath Prabhu, next paragraph.
Lord Shiva.
Next
Lord Shiva, isn't it?
Other.
Lord Shiva is therefore praying to the personality of Godhead to be kind to us. That simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we can understand everything in both the material and the spiritual worlds. The word Amum Shamai is significant in this regard because it indicates the best target one can aim for after attaining the higher planetary system. Those who are engaged in fruitive activities, attain the higher planetary system as a result of their past activities, and the Dhyanis who seeks unification or a monastic merging with the effulgence of Supreme Lord also attain their desired end. But in the ultimate issue, the devotees who can desire to personally associate with the Lord are promoted to the Vaikuntha Loka or Goloka Vrindavana. The Lord as a Pavitram Paramam as the supreme pure. This is also confirmed in this verse. Sukadeva Goswami has stated that stated that cowshed boys who played with Lord Krishna were not ordinary living entities. Only after accumulating many pious activities in various births does one get the opportunity to personally associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since only the pure can reach Him, He is the Supreme Pure.
Hare Krishna, Muktika Bhajan, text number 41.
Hare Krishna. My dear Lord, you are the viewer of results of pious activities. You are inclination, discrimination, and the resultant activities. You are the cause of miserable conditions of life caused by irreligion, and therefore you are death. I offer you my respectful obeisances. Purport. The Supreme Personality of God is situated in everyone's heart, and from Him issue a living entity's inclinations and discrimination. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Sarvasya chaham vidhi sannivishta marta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. The Supreme Personality of Godhead causes the asuras to forget Him and the devotees to remember Him. One's discriminations are due to Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Bhagavad Gita 16.7, pravittam cha nivrittam cha jnanana vidurashuraha. The asuras who do not know which way one should be inclined to act and which way one should not be inclined to act. Although the asuras oppose devotional service, it is to be understood that they are implanted in that way due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because the asuras do not like to engage in Lord devotional service, the Lord within gives them intelligence to forget. Ordinary karmis desire promotion to Pitraloka. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.25, Yanti Deva Vrata Devan Pitrin Yanti Prita Vrataha. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among demigods, and those who worship ancestors go to ancestors. In this verse, the word Dukkhadhaya is also very significant for those who are non-devotees and perpetually put into the cycle of birth and death. This is a very miserable condition because one's position in life is attained according to one's activities. The asuras or non-devotees are put into such miserable conditions.
Hare Krishna. Stop it here. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Hare Krishna, Panduranjan Priya Prabhu, Padmamalini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Ji, Dandavat Pranam.
Maithili Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Bhautika Mataji, Jagannath Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Pushkara, thank you so much. Saraswati Mataji, Advaita Prana Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Sagar Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyascha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. We'll meet again on Tuesday at the same time. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.